Hello friends, this video on electric charges and fields part 7 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Please make sure that you have watched all the videos till part 6 before going ahead with part 7. So let us talk about properties of electric charge. In properties we will basically talk about additivity of charge. I will discuss each of them one by one. We'll discuss about conservation of charge. And finally, we will talk about quantization of charge. So let us start with additivity of charge. So what is additivity of charge? Additivity. What do you think about it knowing additivity? Additivity has come from the term add. It talks about a property of addition of charges. If you have a system which has multiple charges. Let us suppose if I have a system which has charges Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Then what is the total charge of the system? It is nothing but simple addition of all the charges. So the total charge on the system will be Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 plus Q4. So this property says that the total charge on a body is the algebraic sum, that is addition, from where you get additivity. It is the algebraic sum of all the charges located anywhere on the body. Right? For example, there is some object. I can draw it in any way I like. There is some charge Q1, some charge Q2, some charge Q3 on this body. So if somebody asks you what is the total charge on this body, then the total charge Q will be equal to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. Doesn't matter where are these charges located inside the body. It is the algebraic sum of all the charges. Now let us suppose that we have an object which has charges. For example, again we have another body which has charges Q1 minus Q2 plus Q3 minus Q4. So what is the total charge on this body? In this case, the total charge will be equal to Q1 minus Q2 plus Q3 minus Q4. It is very important that proper signs are taken into consideration. If I have a negative charge, that negative sign has to be taken care while summing the charges. It is not that you will just sum Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 plus Q4. Then you will get an incorrect result. So if you have a negative charge, that minus sign needs to be incorporated while calculating the algebraic sum. Now let us look at the second property, that is conservation of charge. You all must have understood what is conservation of charge, because you have learned about conservation of energy, conservation of momentum. So everything is the same thing. Conservation of charge also says. So conservation of charge tells the same thing, that charge can neither be created nor destroyed. So in an isolated system, the total charge remains constant all the time. So total charge is constant. What is isolated system? A system which is not interacting with any other system. So in isolated system, the total charge will remain constant. So let us take the example which we took before, the example of the comb. Now if you look at it, before the comb was rubbed with your hair, before that the comb was not electrically charged, right? So at that time, the net charge on the system, the system here consists of the comb plus your hair. So initially both of them were uncharged as such, right? So when the comb was rubbed with your hair, the comb acquired some charges, right? So the total charge before this rubbing took place, the total charge of the comb plus hair is equal to the total charge after the rubbing took place, because after rubbing the comb becomes negatively charged, so the hair becomes positively charged, so the net charge again becomes the same. So before charging and after charging, the total charge remains the same. So that means the total charge before is equal to the total charge after. So before what? After what? After the process. The process here is rubbing. So before rubbing also the total charge was 0. Total excess charge was 0. After rubbing also, the comb becomes negatively charged. At the same time, your hair becomes positively charged. So after charging also, the total charge remains the same. Now let us look at the third property, that is quantization of charge. Please understand this very carefully because this will help you as you go ahead with this chapter. What is quantization of charge? Quantization states that charge on a body can only be an integral multiple of charge on an electron. That means any object which you see around yourself, any object, let it be anything, let it be your pen, let it be your pencil, let it be your house, whatever it is. Any object can have a charge. That charge can only be an integral multiple of the charge on an electron. So what is the charge on an electron? The charge on an electron is generally denoted by E, and the value is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. This is the charge on one electron, and this is considered as the fundamental unit of charge. Why is it considered fundamental unit of charge? Because any other charge is defined in terms of this charge. That's what this quantization says. It says that any object will have a charge on any object, say Q, will always be, it has to be an integral multiple of electronic charge. That means that the other object cannot have any other values other than these values, where n is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. So that means a charge which can exist in this universe has to be an integral multiple of this value. Otherwise, that charge cannot exist. Right? So this is the charge which electron has. Similarly, what is the charge on a proton? Proton also has the same value, just that with opposite sign, because electron has negative charge. The proton has positive charge. Okay. So I hope it is clear to you what is quantization. Quantization says that any charge that exists in this universe has to be an integral multiple of charge on an electron. No other values can exist. Now, when I talk of quantization, there are two ways of looking at quantization. We can look at it from a macroscopic level. We can look at it from a microscopic level. Right? So, when I talk about macroscopic level and microscopic level, what difference arises? Let us look at that. Just now we saw that there are certain values of charges which can exist in this universe. No other values can exist other than that, right? So let us suppose here, and I'm giving you a practical example which happens in our day-to-day life. What do you see on the screen? You see a set of 8 cars standing in a row, one after the other, right? You can see that there are 8 cars very clearly standing one after the other in a queue. Now let us suppose instead of you seeing these cars so closely, let us suppose that you are seeing it from very far off. Imagine that you are sitting on an aeroplane. So you are at a very great height from the road. So if you are seeing the same thing from such a great height, what do you see? Are you able to distinguish that, okay, there are these many cars, or are you even able to distinguish that these are cars? No. What do you see here right now? It just appears to you as if there is a line. It just looks like a line. You don't even distinguish whether it is a car or how many cars are there. You cannot clearly say that, okay, there are 8 cars. If you go even more far off, it will become difficult for you to count as well. It will exactly look like a line. So what do we learn from this? If we look at something very closely or from a microscopic level, in that case, we can see the discrete values. Let us suppose with this example, what I tried to explain was, just now I told you that any charge can have only these particular values. So that means quantization talks about discrete nature of charge. That means a charge can only take these discrete values, nothing else. So let us suppose that each of this car represents a discrete value. These are the values which an electron can take. Now this is true at microscopic level, because in microscopic level you are observing, microscopic level is at the smaller level, at the constituents level. So at that level you are observing electrons very closely. So you can say that okay, this value and this value it cannot take any value in between. But when you are observing the same thing from a macroscopic level, that is from a higher level, at that time the difference between those two charges, that is 1e and 2e and 3e, the difference between them is very small. If you see, if you look at the values, if you look at the value of e, that is electronic charge, it is a very, it is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. So it is a small value. So the difference between 1e, 2e and 3e, it doesn't appear to be huge when you look at it from a macroscopic level, right? So what do we say? We say that at macroscopic level, the discrete nature of charge is lost and it appears to be continuous. See, the fact is that charge is discrete in nature. Charge can only accept values which are integral multiples of electronic charge. But when we look at it at macroscopic level, the difference between those two acceptable values are very small. For example, look at this example. This is the best example to understand this. So in this case, the discrete nature of each of the cars or each of the values is lost. It appears to be continuous. Continuous means right now those 8 cars doesn't look like 8 cars. It just looks like one line. Right? So the discrete nature of each of the cars is lost. Similarly, in case of quantization, the quantization concept is lost when we look at it at a macroscopic level. So quantization concept can not be, at macroscopic level, the concept of quantization can be ignored, because in macroscopic level we deal with large values of charges. Right? So there, those small values of 10 to the power minus 19 and all, they doesn't make much difference to it. So we say that at macroscopic level, charge appears to be continuous and quantization can be ignored. Whereas when we talk about microscopic level, charge retains its discrete nature, because in microscopic level, we deal with charges which are very, very small. So when we are dealing with very small values of charges, there even 10 to the power minus 19 makes much difference, right? So in this case, quantization cannot be ignored, right? So I hope I am able to explain you what is quantization and how to look at quantization from macroscopic level as well as microscopic level. So this was all about properties of electric. Now we will go ahead and study about electric force. I already told you, right, that. Thank you. Please visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thank you once again.